Harless because he thought she was alone. And the toxicology reports prove Dusty Harless was intoxicated. Gensler says the fight was 2 against 1, and that he pulled the knife from his pocket, stabbed blindly behind him, and quickly turned around so that the blood hit the front of his shirt.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel here. It's Lavender here, and today I'm back with another true crime case. Today I am doing the true crime case, the death of Dusty Harless, the self-defense murder case story. So I first actually came across this on Forensic Files. It was one of the most interesting true crime cases, so I wanted to cover this. I just totally forgot about this case, and I just now realized about this case. Came back to my memory, so let's get started into this video. So yeah. So this true crime case has been featured in a number of TV and media and TV. It has been featured in one in particular is the Forensic Files episode called Pinned by the Evidence. Okay, onto the story of this true crime story. A couple consisting of Sky Flanders and her surfboard salesman preppy boyfriend Dusty Harless, age 25 at the time, exited a local San Diego bar in the local area on a rainy night in 1996. She ran ahead of him to get under an awning because it was raining really hard. Soon after that, a motorist named David Glunzer, also 25 years old, spotted her and offered her a ride because of the rain. She declined, citing she was with her boyfriend. And her boyfriend, Dusty, was appalled to learn that a man was talking to his girlfriend while she was standing alone without him. The highly intoxicated, drunk Dusty Harless walked to the passenger side of the Glenzer's car to confront him. 12 minutes later, Dusty lay bleeding from a 4-inch knife wound to the aurora artery in his heart. David fled the crime scene. It was later on in the investigation found out that David said that Dusty dragged him and pulled him out of the car and violently attacked him with wrestling moves, pinned him down so he's facing the ground. Glenzer defended himself using a self-defense against the drunken attacker. He said he grabbed a knife from his pocket, reaching backwards and blindly trying to hit Dusty in the shoulder. Dusty was a former AAU National Wrestling Champion who had a huge advantage over the nerdy eyeglass wearing David. Flanders made a note of his license plate number, and police traced it to David's mother. He then turned himself in. He did not know he actually killed the victim, Dusty. Investigators found hairless blood on the front of David's shirt, and the prosecution proved the two were face to face when the knife pierced Dusty's body, and that David intended to deliver a fatal wound. The jury did not believe David's self-defense story at all because the perpetrator's blood evidence, that was presented in the courtroom, and convicted David of second-degree murder. He received a 20 years to life sentence. Dusty's girlfriend jumped for joy at this verdict in the courtroom. It's possible Dusty's preppy popularity in the community ultimately contributed to the guilty verdict. He was outgoing, belonged to a competitive surfing team, and had hundreds of friends in the local area. A number of them paddled into the Pacific Ocean to lay a memorial wreath in his honor. A post honoring Dusty on the Parents of Murdered Children website places all the blame for his death on David. A victim blames the victim, David. They basically victim blamed David. They said, here's a quote of them saying, Dustin was on his way home with his girlfriend. Dustin was stabbed by David in cold blood for no reason. David jumped out of his car, hit Dustin in the temple. Dustin fell to the pavement. David jumped on top and stabbed Dustin with a 4-inch knife, putting it all the way until the hilt. A paid obituary for the Dustin Harless that appeared in the Montana Standard, referring to the killing as a tragic act of a demented, evil individual, referring to David. David served his sentence in Mule Creek State Federal Prison in California until he won a new trial on the basis of having been denied his counsel of choice at the first trial. At this point, he had already served maybe around 3 years in prison. David's attorneys brought in Wrestling Hall of Fame member Ned Blast to refute the most damning forensic evidence against David, which was Dusty's blood was on the front of David's shirt. Blast showed a common wrestling move hold that would have forced David Ginsler to the pavement before he stabbed Dusty. The defense team also used forensic animation to show how Ginsler might have flipped over right after the stabbing. An expert testified that because the aurora of the heart spurts at a cadence, it's possible that Harless wasn't bleeding in the split second before Ginsler turned face up. Also, the defense found witnesses who said Dusty had already made a habit out of starting physical fights and altercations with other men, including one he incited after another man allegedly made an insulting comment to his girlfriend at a bar. The defense also found discrepancies between the story Flanders gave to police in the night of the accident and the one she offered on the witness stand. In her first account, she admitted that Harless had Ginsler on the ground and wouldn't let him up before the stabbing. Flanders, Dusty's girlfriend at the time, said she admitted on camera during her Forensic Files video appearance interview that she wasn't entirely truthful during the first trial because she didn't want to help the defense lawyers for David. She later claimed the prosecutor had coached her to say things to withhold information during the first trial. The jury found David guilty of the lesser charge of manslaughter. The judge sentenced him to time served and he was set free. Dusty had overreacted to a simple comment that David was just asking Dusty's girlfriend if she would just like a ride, and he overreacted to it just because he was talking to his girlfriend. Then the swing fight caused the end of his own life and the incarceration of another man for years who was the actual victim in this case. He was literally attacked by, Dusty literally attacked a guy in his drunken state. How does that not make David the victim? David did get some satisfaction in the matter when he sued Deputy District Attorney Peter Longspeech for proto-casual misconduct related to the false testimony from Sky Flanders, Dusty's girlfriend. The amount of settlement reached in 2006 was disclosed. It wasn't classified. Here wasn't any conservation on whether David went to law school. He said he might have wanted to go to law school in Forensic Files, but he did complete his finance degree in 2006. He actually might be a realtor. I'm not sure, honestly. Sky Flanders, Dusty's former girlfriend on the victim Dusty, appears to be alive and well and to have a son. She was never prosecuted for perjury. Flanders has stated several times that she prefers not to talk about the situation or the tragedy of her ex-boyfriend. Dusty, after the trial, Dusty's mother, Kathy Harless, who appeared in Pinned by the Evidence, moved to Butte, Montana, and then to San Diego, California. She worked as a caretaker for ranch owners' properties. She also had 2 dogs and 2 horses of her own. Her relationship with her son's ex-girlfriend, Sky Flanders, ultimately turned sour. A 2006 story into the San Diego Union Tribune contained the following quote from the mother of Dusty, Catherine Harless: "I consider Flanders really part of the problem, and I think she should be so ashamed for ruining Pete Longenbach's life and career," she said. "It turned from a trial about murder into a trial about lawyer misconduct." Sadly, Kathy Harris died at age 63 when a drunk driver hit her pickup truck in Alpine, California in 2010. She has 2 daughters who survived her. So if you guys like this video, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Bye, see you next video.